Hare Krishna, good evening and welcome all of you all for another match of KPL. We are on the 5th round and it's the second last match. One more match to go after today's match and then we will be entering into the semi-finals. Those who have logged in late or tuned in late, just a piece of information for them. This is a quiz contest held on Krishna book written by Srila Prabhupada, and all the questions have been divided as per the chapters. So we will be completing 50 chapters by the end of the 5th round, and we'll be starting the 6th round. Semi-finals. We will be starting the semi-finals next week. So all the details will be posted on Facebook, Instagram, and on our website. So be in touch and stay tuned in. So you'll get the latest update. So let's hand over the floor to Jigar Prabhu for the toss. Yes, Jigar
Hare Krishna,
Prabhu.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Prabhuji, I'll share my screen for the toss.
Yeah.
And we have Samrat Prabhuji from the DSK Super Kings. And we have Haldar Pran Das Prabhuji. And let's see who's going to take the toss. Who's going
Prabhuji,
to
aap lijiye. Haldar Pran Prabhuji, aap lijiye. Take the call.
Haldar Pran Prabhu will have to unmute himself to speak.
Yeah, Prabhuji will go for heads.
Okay, so heads is a call. And I'll flip the coin. Okay, it's a tails. So Samrat Prabhuji wins the toss from DSK.
Yeah. We'll bat first. We'll answer.
As usual. Okay, so you're going to bat first. So I request all Makanchor players to switch off their videos, and all DSK players, that is Dwarkadish Super King players, to switch on their videos. Make sure your video is not on. Make sure that all your people or videos are on. Yes. So this note. So yes, as per the last match performance, Samrat Prabhu, your team had lost the last match. So what is your planning for today's match? What do you think?
Probably last time also we were prepared, well prepared. All had given their best, but we missed out on fine points. That's why we scored 1 point instead of 2 points. But we have tried and done our best. So let's see what we have to do.
Very nice. That's the spirit. Very well prepared. So I think today you're going to strike the floor with a thumping majority and you're going to win it. So with this note, we start with the first question for Dwarkadish Super Kings. And the question is for today evening is simple question. When did Krishna decide to kill the wrestlers immediately? When did Krishna decide to kill the wrestlers immediately? Your time starts now.
Joey, answer your question. Simran, sorry, Simran, answer the question.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Immediately, because on the wrestling place, and because Charuya and Mushtika, Krishna and Balram was fighting with them, and immediately then they were very strong compared to Krishna and Balram, and Krishna and Balram were child and teenagers, but was
very good. Answer is right. Go ahead.
Very quick. Prabhuji, can you repeat the question?
When did Krishna decide to kill the wrestlers immediately?
Killed immediately. Charuya and immediately. Because
yes, Simran. So what happened when now that Krishna was and Balram were fighting with Chanur and Mushtika? So what was the problem? It was nice, no? Fighting was going on. some action was on. So what's the problem?
But people were not satisfied because there were not equal competition between players.
Mhm.
That is why it was not interesting, and all the people left. All the people who the people who were
Okay, people were saying they were unhappy, everything agreed. Then why did Krishna decide to kill the wrestlers immediately? What was the reason he just wanted to kill the wrestlers immediately?
because they were immediately they were strong.
Simran, don't it says
Kamsa,
हाँ नहीं हो रहा है तो should I give? If नहीं हो रहा है तो मैं दूँ आंसर?
Prabhuji, I have to try.
नहीं ट्राई तो आप कर रहे हो लेकिन नहीं हो रहा तो मैं देता हूँ.
Backup है, don't worry, you are having a backup.
आप don't take tension, कोई tension. Tell आराम से.
Because Kamsa, they were instructed by Kamsa to kill Krishna and Balram.
Correct.
And that is the reason Krishna and Balram killed them immediately with the
okay, Samrat Prabhu, you'll have to take over now. You'll have to give the answer.
Prabhuji, when the fight was going on and when Krishna saw that the devotees, the coward men and the arena are getting restless and restless, exact word, anxiety is taking over and they are now they are getting like चिंतित हो रहे हैं वो कि what will happen.
क्यों? But why how did he know all that?
He could sense their actually मेरा chapter he could sense that when with this and like so that time जैसे Lord never wants that his devotees and his parents और उनके नंद Devki and Vasudev also they are getting aggrieved and so that's why to उनको हरने के लिए he immediately killed them so that their anxiousness can be removed.
Okay, fine. So now I'd like to answer from the book. Lord Krishna, when Lord Krishna, the super soul of every living being, very important point which you missed out. How did he come to know? How did Krishna come to know? How does Krishna come to know that everyone is aggrieved? Suppose all your team members are aggrieved. Oh, we are not knowing the answer. Krishna comes to know. How? Because he is a super soul in every living being. Understood that the ladies in the assembly were anxious for him. So he decided not to continue the wrestling, but to kill the wrestlers immediately. The important point is, he is the super soul. Lord is Paramatma. हर व्यक्ति के अंदर वो परमात्मा है. Every soul, every human, every living entity has a Lord in the form of Paramatma. And through that, being the Paramatma, Lord is like a CCTV camera inside each and every living entity. And then he comes to know whether someone is in anxiousness, someone is in anxiety, what it is, he comes to. So I can just give 1 point to DSK for this, the Dwarka Super King, because the very important point, because Krishna, that's why I specifically asked, how did he know? You said, okay, he was in a concern, all that answers, but the main answer is he is a super soul. So I can give only 1 point for this question because one key understanding of this question is missing. When Krishna was busy fighting, he was not looking at each and every player, each and every spectator. Oh, are you worried? Are you worried? Ladai karna hai usko. He doesn't have the time to see. He has to see Shanor and Mushtika. They are busy fighting with them. So as a super soul sitting in everyone's heart, he came to know that is. Okay, well played. So 1 point goes to Dwarkadish Super Kings. So let's go to the next question. Simran, well tried. But I'm seeing you're getting more tense. Don't worry, there is a backup for you. So all you have to do is go out with the answer. Jada se jada wrong hoga. I'm not going to put minus marks for your wrong answer. Don't worry. Okay? Relax. So the next question for Dwarkadish Super Kings is, in Krishna's absence, the gopis had been coming dutifully to visit Mother Yashoda's house early in the morning. Why? In Krishna's absence, the gopis have been coming dutifully to visit Mother Yashoda's house early in the morning. Why? Your time starts now.
Is anyone answering or should I try? मंडिका माता जी आप बोल रहे हैं? हाँ, आप अनम्यूट करिए. मंडिका माता जी अनम्यूट करिए.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी.
Yes, Hare Krishna.
गोपी जब कृष्ण भगवान वृंदावन छोड़कर चले गए थे तो गोपियां सुबह सुबह नंद और यशोदा माता से मिलने के लिए आती थी, क्योंकि वो लोग उनको मालूम था कि कृष्ण की अनुपस्थिति से ये लोग बहुत दुखी होंगे. दूसरा, वो गांव के बहुत प्रतिष्ठित वृद्ध लोग थे जिनका आशीर्वाद लेने वो हमेशा सुबह सुबह उनके पास आ जाती थी.
Very good. And very nice. Your answer is very nice. I'd like to add on something to that. Anybody wants to add from your team? Anybody wants to add? They knew that Nanda Maharaj and Mother Yashoda.
Prabhuji, I will add.
Mataji, when I have started the answer, I have been telling if anyone, I invited you always.
Yes, I was unmuting myself. Sorry,
Raise your hand
Prabhuji.
on the chat box at least. Yeah, tell me.
So, seeing them, seeing friends of Krishna, Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj would feel, remember Krishna's presence, and they would feel little solace by their presence.
Okay, now I can give full marks to Dwarkadi Super Kings. They knew that Nanda Maharaj and Mother Yashoda were always grief-stricken, and they had made it their first duty to come and pay their respects to the elated elderly personalities of Vrindavan. See, there are 2 points which was covered in the first answer: grief-stricken and elated elderly personalities. So those 2 points were covered in the first half. But this point was still lingering on. Seeing the friends of Krishna, Nanda and Yashoda, would remember Krishna himself and be satisfied. And the gopis also would be pleased by seeing Nanda and Yashoda. Okay, full 2 points goes to Dwarkadish Super Kings. Well played. But please make sure when I'm inviting someone, please respond fast. At least if there is a delay in unmuting yourself, please raise the hand in the chat box at least. I know it's a technical hitches will be there. After all, it's a technical game. So please raise your hand in the chat box, please. Okay, with this, we go to the next question for Dwarkadish Super Kings. After the death of the wrestlers and few others fleeing, how did Kamsa express his moroseness? After the death of the wrestlers and the few others fleeing, how did Kamsa express his moroseness? And your time starts now.
Prabhuji, I will answer this.
Yes.
Because all the wrestlers were killed, Kamsa became very Kamsa became unhappy because Krishna and Balram was not killed by the wrestlers, and was not killed by the wrestlers. And Kamsa thought then he ordered their men that all the Krishna from Vrindavan, all the Krishna and from the Vrindavan, Krishna and Balram.
Relax.
कृष्णा प्रभु जी उन्होंने अपने बोला आदमियों को कि कृष्णा और बलराम को यहाँ से वृंदावन से निकाल दिया जाए और उनके फादर वासुदेव और को मार दिया जाए और उनके जो फादर है जो अगेंस्ट उनके होते हैं एनिमी के मतलब
that is not the answer. That is not the answer.
because
I repeat the question. After the death of the wrestlers and few others fleeing. How did Kamsa express his moroseness? Yes. You can try. Yes, back up. Samrat Prabhu, back up.
Try.
Oh, last 6 seconds.
Juhi wants to answer, Prabhuji. Juhi, unmute yourself.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I think that I'd read the chapter. So in that, everyone was clapping and they were very happy, but Kamsa was not showing any happiness, or he wasn't even clapping. And just for the sake, he told his men to just beat the drums.
Stop the drums. Stop the.
No, you can't. No, you can't add. 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 The time is already 32 seconds. Still, I wanted Juhi to give a try, but Juhi, I'm sorry, your answer was not right. In fact, what Simran said was he asked to stop the drum. So let's listen to what the Krishna book says. Kamsa neither clapped nor offered benediction to Krishna. Kamsa did not clap, neither did he offer benediction to Krishna. Why he should offer a benediction to Krishna? Simple. If someone wins in a match, the king is supposed to give some benediction to or prize. Benediction means prize. Some prize has to be given to the winner. But Krishna being the winner, neither did he clap for him, neither did he give. Kamsa resented that the trumpets and the drums should be played for Krishna's victory. He resented. He says, story, don't do it. He was not for it. And he was very sorry that the wrestlers had been killed and had fled the assembly. He therefore immediately asked the band to stop playing the band. So the only one point in the answer you answered was clapping. Juhi, you answered very well. You started with the word clapping, but rest of all the points were missing. So I won't be able to give you any points for this question because this was in fact, you said the opposite thing. They asked the band to play. In fact, he asked the band to stop playing. And last but not the least, he resented from the people who are paying the sing from dissing, and he did not give a benediction. This is also very important. Whenever there is a match, wrestling match, there's a prize, right? Even for this quiz contest, we are having a prize. So whenever there is a winning, there is a prize, but there is no prize given. But to encourage Juhi for her venture to try after the timeout, I'll give one bonus point to Dwarkadhish Super Kings, but that is only for the credit goes to Juhi, no one else. Because Juhi tried after the time lap, but still, but you said the opposite, huh? He asked the band, stop the band. He didn't ask us, play the band.
I got confused.
See, by hearting the answer will not give you points, my dear. You may get the points, but you will not get the knowledge. You'll have to understand the subject matter and then you have to present it. One who understands the subject matter will be more successful in the long run of life. You may win the quiz by 1 point. You may win the match, but what's the use? The match of the life has to be won, and that can be won only with proper knowledge of Lord. Okay, for this endeavor of Juhi, I give 1 point to Dwarkadhish Super Kings. Otherwise, you all were not deserving any point, technically speaking. But nevertheless, all glories to Juhi. Simran, you know the answer, but the problem is you're bubbling with all the answer, so you're not able to give the answer. That's the problem. Otherwise, I knew you knew the answer, but you got stuck with so much of knowledge. You know, everything is all the points are trying to come out, and nothing is able to is running out of your mind. So Be relaxed, be cool. You will be able to do it. Yes, scorer. What is the situation, scorer Prabhuji? Vishal ji.
3 questions and 4 points, Prabhuji.
3 questions, 4 points. Anybody has completed 2 of their chances?
I think so. The lady.
Yes, Simran has completed 2 chances of hers. Samrat has used 1 chance.
And
Manrega Mataji has used 1 chance, and
Juhi has used 1 chance.
Juhi uses 1 chance, and even Shraddha Mataji has used 1 chance. Please kindly note these things, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Okay, so we go to the next question for today evening, and the question is, let's keep it a simple one so that Dwarkadish takes full points for this. And the question is, other than the gopis, for whom is Lord equally anxious? Why the gopis are the most dear? Other than the gopis, for whom is Lord equally anxious? Why the gopis are the most dear? And your time starts now. Yes.
कोई कर रहा है आंसर? should I try? श्रद्धा माता जी, आप लोग कर रहे हैं ट्राई?
You try, Prabhuji.
मेरा चांस खत्म हो जाए, ठीक है. Other than the gopis, Prabhuji, the Lord is anxious for devotees who have left their friends, their love, society, and personal society and personal comfort. And so Lord is anxious for those people also. And the gopis have left their desires and their body and everything for Krishna. So that's why Lord, and they were 24 hours thinking about Krishna. And hence Lord was anxious for them. But what was the second part of the question? Dusra part bhi tha kya?
Why the gopis are the most dear?
Yeah, gopis are most dear because gopis 24 hours they are thinking about Krishna, and they practice Leela Smarnam, which is the highest according to the Vedic. It is the highest form of devotion service, in which they used to, after separation, they used to think about Krishna all the time, that where he was playing, or where he was, how he would blow the flute, or how he would embrace us, and how he would joke with us. So in all these things, they were always involved in devotional service. That's why.
How come this time Dwarkadish Super Kings have performed horribly? They are
So
one of
answer
the
nahi hai.
top expected people. I mean, I'm going to give points to this answer of yours, but I was not expecting this performance from at least Dwarkadish Super Kings, who have been consistently playing fantastically the earlier matches, and I'm really shocked. Krishna says, I am anxious not only for the gopis, but for anyone who sacrifices, not leaves. There's a lot of difference. Sacrifice, hote hue chhodna is sacrificing. Na hote hue chhod dena is leaving. Sacrifices society, friendship, love, and personal comfort for me. It is my duty to protect such exalted devotee. The gopis are most dear. Why? They always think of me in such a way that they remain overwhelmed and almost dead in anxiety due to separation of me. Because of separation, they are as good as dead, but they don't die. Why? They are keeping themselves alive simply by thinking that I will return to them very soon. Very important point. It was an important point in the part of the Gopi Geet. When we had taken the Gopi Geet, that time also we had covered this point. Very important. Okay, Dwarkadish Super Kings will get 1 full point for the first half of the answer, but the second half of the answer was totally haywire. Yes, Lord says here very nicely, what is the greatness of Lord? Lord doesn't say only the gopis, anyone who sacrifices. That's why I am telling you all, please sacrifice onion and garlic. Please sacrifice tea, coffee. Please sacrifice your favorite, what do you say, dishes made of, might be of non-veg, which is made of meat or fish or anything of that sort. Because unless until one doesn't sacrifice, one cannot come in the good books of the Lord. That is a speciality. Secondly, unwanted socializing, unwantedly getting, saying. So I know I always consider this as a biggest success for me with respect to KPL. At least 3 days in a week, I have totally messed up your material life. 3 days in a week, at least you are not busy watching TV, watching unwanted nonsense. That is what Lord says. Sacrifice society. Another big thing, social get together, friendship, love, personal comforts. Personal comforts may all these things come. So your tea, coffee, your addictions, all sort of addictions, so called, which are socially supposed to be high class. They are also coming under this. So one who leaves up all this, sacrifices all this for me specifically. Lord is very specific. Huh? Like for someone may have some liver problem and he may give up alcohol. And he may say, no, I don't drink. A very nice person. He has not left alcohol for the Lord. He has left alcohol because his health doesn't permit him. But that person, when he leaves alcohol for the sake of Lord, though he can drink, but still he doesn't drink, then that is called as sacrifice. Inability to enjoy should not be considered as a sacrifice. Sacrifice is when he has got the ability to enjoy, but still when he leaves that is called a sacrifice. And that too done with love for the Lord. So yes, this is the understanding for the first part of the answer and first part of the question. The second part of the question is, yes, Lord is very dear because they are always thinking of me, and in such separation, they are as good as dead. As good as dead, but still they don't die. Why? Because they are still having one hope, Lord will come. Now, Acharyas say very nicely that gopis, when asked, why you don't die? Well, as it is, you're morose, you're lying down whole day, you're not doing anything tangible. They're doing all the activities. They're doing all the daily activities, but in a very dead tone. That time the gopis say very nicely, Krishna has said he's going to come. If he comes and he finds us dead, his heart will be pained. That is why we are keeping ourselves alive. What a bhava. Just because Krishna said, I will come, the gopis are saying, if he comes and if he finds us dead, it will pinch his heart. That is why we are not dying. So this is how we have to understand the greatness of the gopis. So 1 point goes to Dwarkadish Super Kings for this question. And
Prabhuji,
next question.
5, and Samrat Prabhuji has used both his chances.
Okay, Samrat Prabhu has used both his chances. Now only total is 5 points, right? Okay. I'm really shocked. Simple questions, they could have scored much better. Okay, next question for Dwarkadish, and the question is, Jarasan accused Krishna of which 3 faults? Explain. Jarasan accused Krishna of which 3 faults? Explain. Your time starts now.
Prabhuji, I will answer this question.
Yes.
The first point was that Krishna killed his uncle Kamsa. Killed Kamsa. The second one is that he was not Kshatriya. And the third point is that his childhood was Gupta.
Okay, was Gupta, hidden.
Yes.
Okay. So can you give me an explanation? I have asked 2 points. Jarasan accused Krishna of which 3 faults? Explain these 3 faults.
Krishna, as Krishna was born, Krishna killed Kamsa. Then the king Jarsan thought that how can he kill his own relative, and it is he said like that. And second one is that he was born.
No. You said very correctly. These 3 points, perfect answer. I accept your answer very nicely. But explain these 3 points clearly.
The first point was that he killed Kamsa.
His maternal uncle. ठीक है, Kamsa is maternal uncle, which he said it is very bad.
Yes.
Okay.
Then the second second point is that he was born in Kshatriya family, but his childhood was raised by Nanda Maharaj. Therefore, he was considered as Vaishya. Then the third one is his childhood was good because Krishna, no one knows that Krishna was the son of Vasudev.
Okay.
And Nanda Maharaj kept it secretly. That is why his childhood he belonged to that family. They are called as Guptas. Guptas means hidden.
Guptas, it is called as Guptas. The Vaishya family is called as Guptas. Very good. Full 2 points goes to Dwarkadish Super Kings. Well answered, Pratiksha. I'm very happy. Yes, Jarasandh also criticized Krishna for not having been a Kshatriya. Having been raised by Nanda Maharaj, Krishna was not a Kshatriya but a Vaishya. Vaishyas are generally called as Guptas. Gupta community is Vaishya community. And the word Gupta also can be interpreted as hidden, Chupan. So Krishna was both hidden and raised by Nanda Maharaj. So Jarasandh accused Krishna of 3 faults: killing his maternal uncle, being not a Kshatriya, and last but not the least, that his childhood was hidden. Full 2 points goes to Dwarkadish Super Kings, and well played by Pratiksha. Very nice, and very confidently answered. I was very happy. You answered very nicely and confidently.
Thank you.
So this is how Jarasandh was. Jarasandh was trying to say that, no, you are not a Kshatriya. Itna paap kar raha hai, that is okay, but Kshatriya hai, wo not allowed. So this is how he was finding faults. Well answered. So we go to the next question for Dwarkadish Super Kings, and the last question. I wanted to get full 2 marks for this, not miss even a single mark. And the last question for Dwarkadish Super Kings is: Uddhava wishes to take birth in Vrindavan as what and why? Uddhava wishes to take birth in Vrindavan as what and why? And your time starts now.
Prabhuji, I can answer this.
Yes.
Prabhuji, Uddhava wanted to become the grass blade, as he wanted to have the dust of the gopis' feet.
Very nice.
Like in Vrindavan, he wanted to become the blade of.
Yes, I asked 2 questions. I asked what and why.
What is a blade of grass, and why is he wanted
that is what I am asking. What you explained? What? Yes, he has a blade of grass. Chalo, accepted. Points given for that also. What about why?
I will answer.
Vivan, repeat. You told us lotus feet. Bol.
Okay. So Uddhava wanted the dust of the gopis' feet. That's why he wished to become a blade of grass in his next birth, so that he could get the dust of the gopi.
Think of
Shraddha Mataji add.
I will add. Prabhuji, can I add? Yeah, Hare Krishna. Can I add?
Yeah, please.
Hare Krishna.
Boliye. Your signal is weak.
So gopis never thought about themselves. They left everything, their family, their feminine bashfulness, their children, their home, everything, and they didn't care about anything they ran, and they were not sure from where they are going, from road or jungle. They were passing through jungle, and gopis dedication was very good, and they were so much um, gopis were also very fortunate to get प्रभु जी आपने क्वेश्चन क्रीपर के बारे में पूछा है कि ग्रास लंप के बारे में पूछा है? Okay, then
Uddhava wishes to be taken wishes to take birth in Vrindavan as what and why?
yeah, so as grass of lump, a lump of grass, because the first half I gave the answer, and second because gopis were not allow him to take the dust of feet in this world, he did not dare to ask for dust of feet in this world. He asked to take birth in next
But why
world,
does he want the gopis dust on his head?
because even gopis were so fortunate to have love of Krishna, and even goddess of
You said something in the starting. I want you to repeat that properly.
sorry, Prabhuji.
You said something in the starting. I want you to repeat that properly.
Yeah, so they went and imperceptibly the dust of gopis feet bestowed upon the grass and herbs of Vrindavan, and so gopis
I'm
were
asking Mataji, you said something regarding the gopis.
gopis
The
were
beginning.
gopis were very fortunate, and they had played Krishna had played himself Leela with them, and in that Leela they had Krishna has embraced them personally and kissed them face to face, and they were lovingly in service of
So
Krishna.
that is the reason why Uddhava wanted the dust. I am asking, why did Uddhava want gopis dust? My question was very clear, and you answered something. But you started something, you brought it near their mouth, and then you putting it near your ears.
Because of the bhakti bhav of the gopis.
One bit, your chance is over, Prabhu. Wait. Now I want Shraddha Mataji, please see the camera and answer.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes.
So gopis were very fortunate to have Krishna. They were very fortunate to have relieved from the material pangs and anxieties of their life by placing their high breast on the
Mataji, tell me what our acharyas have said. We don't have to give extra commentary on that. Please tell me what the acharyas have mentioned, what the Krishna book mentions. Just the answer. That's all. Simple.
So gopis left everything and they ran they left everything and they ran towards Krishna where he was standing, and in that they were not knowing anything, and
okay,
from
let's block the answer. It's quite a long time you have answered. Let's block this answer right for sure. Let's block the answer. Uddhava says, I wish to take birth as one of the plant or creeper in Vrindavan, who are so fortunate that the gopis trample them. The gopis have so lovingly served Krishna, Mukunda. Why the name Mukunda? Himself, the giver of liberation. Mukunda ka matlab kya hai? Giver of liberation. Who searched after by great sages and saintly person. Who is Krishna? Krishna is searched by great sages and saintly person. For his sake, they left everything. Their family, their children, their friends, their homes, and all worldly connections. That is why Uddhava doesn't want the dust of the great sages and saintly person on his head, but he wants the gopis. I'm giving 2 marks to Dwarka's Super Kings, but the answer was not at all justified. Beating around the bush will not give us the actual understanding. My question was, what is your understanding? You were mentioning all the words so that you didn't want to make any mistake, in skipping off, but the clarity wasn't there in your answer, Mataji. I'm giving you off 2 points because the points were there. That's why I asked you, please mention. You mentioned also they left the family and children, but why? What's so great? That understanding has to be there, Mataji. We have to have a better understanding of the subject matter. Otherwise, our purpose of reading these books will not be served. Our understanding has to become more clearer. Why did he kiss them and all that? That is a different understanding altogether. Yes, that is what you said is correct, but uska understanding kuch aur hi hai, has no connection with Uddhava. Uddhava didn't want the gopis because gopis were kissed by Krishna. He didn't want the lotus, the dust of the lotus feet just because gopis were kissed by Krishna. He wanted them because they had served Mukunda personally. And what is the greatness of Mukunda? Mukunda is run behind by great sages and by those people who can take liberation and saintly people. But for his sake, only for the sake of Mukunda, they did not run behind liberation. The point to be understood over here is they did not serve Krishna for liberation. You and I may be doing devotion for liberation, but gopis were not serving Krishna for liberation. Are you getting this understanding, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
This is very important. They were doing अहेतु की भक्ति. हम जो कर रहे हैं वो हेतु की भक्ति है. एक हेतु है, पीछे कार्य है, एक कारण है. हम क्या चाह रहे हैं कि भगवान एंड में हमको वैकुंठ में सीट रिजर्व करा देना. That is hetu ki bhakti. Whereas that is why great sages and sing are running behind Krishna, but there is a hetu behind it. There is a purpose behind it, and the purpose is liberation. Krishna is the giver of liberation, but they didn't run behind Krishna because Krishna is the giver of liberation. They just left everything, worldly connections, the friends, the relatives, everything, home, everything, just for his sake. Just to serve him without an expectation. Now that I will serve him and he will give me liberation. This is the difference. That is why our Uddhava wanted the dust of the lotus feet from the gopis' feet and not from the feet of great saintly persons. Let's understand this. I'm giving 2 points for Dwarkadish Super Kings for this question because technically the answer had all words. And all words of other 2-3 question answers were also there. Those words were also there. But the answer was not having, the understanding was not there. I want the understanding. Technically, I can't stop you from giving marks because you have mentioned those words. But understanding is missing. Please, I humbly request all of you, please understand the subject matter. That is the purpose of this quiz. Okay, full 2 points to Dwarkadish Super Kings. Yes, Vishal Prabhuji, what is the final score?
9 points.
Yes, Prabhu.
Total 9 points, Prabhuji.
9 points. Fantastic. So 9
points.
Has
to score 10.
Yes, yes. Very nice. So 9 points taken as the target set up by Dwarkadish Super Kings. So I request all Dwarkadish Super Kings to switch off their videos and all Makanchur players to switch on their videos. Yes. Yes, Pooja Mataji.
हाँ प्रभु जी. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Where's the video? I'm not.
Yeah, it's not coming. I don't know why. Probably the net is slow, I think so, but I'll try again. 1 sec.
No problem. Aram se. Yes, Hardar Pran Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Today, what is your target score?
Now we have to target 12 now, straight way.
Straight 12. Now, how many are you going to target yourself?
4.
Hare Krishna.
Sure. Very nice. Yes, Pooja Mataji. Target
Yes,
is only 9 to cross over. So 10 is your target. So how do you feel? You can make it up easily?
It looks very difficult. The way the answers, the chapters we have learned, but the detail, the depth is missing. I know that it is missing on our part.
No problem.
But we'll try our best.
I'm not forcing you to give me the details in that depth, but at least your understanding should be more clearer. That's my main purpose. My main purpose is not the points.
Yes, Prabhuji.
That is anyhow, you all can take all 12 points, no problem. Before the match starts, all teams can get 12 points and go. Not a problem for me. But for me, the understanding is more important. Okay, I'm wishing you all the best so that your team can make those points. And first question for Makanchur challengers. And the first question is simple question, always to start with. How did Jarasandha express his way of demonic dealing in criticizing Krishna? How did Jarasandha express his way of demonic dealing in criticizing Krishna? And your time starts now.
Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, I would like to try.
Please, sir, try.
Jarasandha, the demonic expression is like even if someone does a bad thing, then also he will not find his faults, and whether he does the bad thing or his friends, he will not consider that that is their fault, and they will also try to blame others.
Very good. Can you explain? You're getting points for the answer. So explain confidently. You can explain.
So when Krishna killed Kamsa, so that time Jarasandha was thinking that he killed his own uncle, but he didn't notice that. I didn't notice that Krishna, that Kamsa had killed so many living entities of the world and innocent people.
Okay, full points given to Makanchur challengers. Well answered. Let's get this understanding a little clear, Shivdat, so that it's very clear to all of us. Because Krishna had killed Kamsa, Jarasandha specifically addressed him as the killer of his own relative. सही बात है. Krishna had killed his own relative, his maternal uncle, but Kamsa had killed many of his own nephews. कृष्ण के सारे भाइयों को मारा था. Shivdat, you're mentioning living entities. You have to mention killing his own nephews. But Krishna had killed his maternal uncle. That was noticed. He did not notice that he had killed, Kamsa had killed all his nephews. वो छोड़ दिया. But what did he say? You have killed your maternal uncle. मतलब क्या? Jarasandha tried to criticize him this way. This is a demonic way of criticizing. Demons do not try to find faults in their own or their friends, but try to find faults in their enemies. खुद का अंदर दोष नहीं देखते हैं, दूसरों के अंदर दोष देखते हैं. Well answered, Shivdat. Very happy, very nice. Well answered. Full 2 points goes to Makanchur challengers. Yes, a big relief to the team. First question, full 2 points. Let's go to the next question. Next question for Makanchur challengers is how did Kamsa get liberation? Explain. How did Kamsa get liberation? Explain. And your time starts now.
Prabhuji, I would like to try.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, I would also like to try.
Who is it? Yes, Vamshi. Okay, Vamshi, try.
Vanchi is better. Vanchi, please.
Yes.
Prabhuji, Kamsa got Surabhya Mukti because from the time he had heard that he would be killed from the 8th son of his and so from that time he would always think of Krishna with a wheel in his hand. So he would always think, he would never, like while eating, while sleeping, while doing everything. So he got Surabhya Mukti.
Very good. Very nice. Full 2 points goes to Makanchur challengers. Well answered, Vamshi. From the day Kamsa had heard that he would be killed by the 8th son of Devaki. From the 8th son. Who was it? 8th son of Devaki. Or his sister. He could even say the answer as sister. Kamsa's sister. So the eighth son of Devaki, he was always thinking of Krishna with his wheel in his hand. Very perfect, important point which Vamshi has mentioned is with the wheel in the hand. And because he was very much afraid of his death, he was thinking of Krishna in that form 24 hours a day, because he was very much afraid of death without stopping, even while eating, while walking, while breathing. And naturally, he got the blessing of Sarupya Mukti. What does Bhagavad Gita 8.6 say? Yam yam vapi smaranam bhavam traja tant kalevaram tam tam evati kaunteya sada tad bhav bhavitaha. As one thinks at the time of death, what consciousness one has at the time of death, that time of body you will get. And what was the consciousness of Kamsa? He was always thinking Krishna with the wheel in the hand, means he was seeing in the Sarupya form. Hence he got Sarupya Mukti. Well answered. 2 points goes to Makhanchur challengers. Well played.
Three more correct answers required.
3 more correct answers required. अरे ऐसा मत बोलो, द्वारकाधीश team will be shaken off.
मुझे 4 more required. Run rate चाहिए.
Okay, let's see what Krishna Leela happens. According to the wives of Kamsa and his brothers, okay, wives of Kamsa and his brothers, what was the reason of their death? According to the wives of Kamsa and his brothers, what was the reason of their death? And your time starts now.
Prabhuji, I'll try.
Yes.
उनकी पत्नियों और उन्होंने उनको पहले तो बहुत दुख हुआ था, लेकिन उन्होंने भी बताया कि उनका जो व्यवहार प्रजा के प्रति, उनके दूसरे प्रजा, उनके जो भी थे उनके नजदीकी, उनके लिए जो उनका व्यवहार था, इसीलिए उन्हें ये सजा मिलनी नक्की थी और इसीलिए उनकी मृत्यु हुई है इस कारण.
Or again, think something you want to add?
प्रभु जी यही पॉइंट पे आप थोड़ा सा और बोलिए, यही सही जा रहे हैं.
आंसर सही है आपका, आंसर सही है,
और थोड़ा बढ़ाइए, एकदम सही जा रहा है. तो उनका व्यवहार,
Mataji, can you add please?
Can I say, Prabhuji?
Yeah, you're
So because of the all sinful activities and all the atrocities that he had committed on the citizens, on the Brahmanas, on the people in general, so because of that he had accumulated so many sins, so he had to die such a painful death. Like, so that was the reason for. So even the wives of the Kamsa, they acknowledge this, the sinful activities done by Kamsa.
Yes, that is the only point.
And that he had killed all his nephews and
okay,
because of his demoniac activity.
Sinful points is very nice. What you said is very nice.
All his demoniac activities.
Yes, demonic activities, ill-treated and everything. Agreed. Something more. Something more. You have just repeated what he said. You have repeated in English. That's all. Something more which you can add on, which you can think of. You still have time. That's why I'm giving you this chance. He has only he answered within 3 seconds, so you got still have time. So I'm going to start the timer now. The reason of his death is just because he was bad. There are so many bad people in this country for which they are dying. There's what
there was a prophecy that he would be killed by Krishna, and he couldn't avoid that death. Like, well, anything you can do, but you cannot avoid death, Krishna, which was already prophesied.
You can't think of anything else? Before I lock your answer, can I think of anything else?
प्रभु जी, हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी.
Yes, mother.
वो कंसा के पिता को भी उसने बंदी किया है. सो मारने के लिए मतलब ऐसे
अत्याचार छोड़ के कुछ और पॉइंट है तो बताइए. अत्याचार का मैं समझ गया हूँ, उसका मैं पॉइंट दे रहा हूँ मैं आपको. तीन जन एक ही पॉइंट बोल रहे हैं अत्याचार का, उसके आगे कुछ है? Okay, I'll have to lock the answer over here. Yes.
प्रभु जी चांस मत वेस्ट कीजिए प्लीज.
अरे आप लोग तीन जन प्रभु जी बोल रहे हैं, कुछ अलग बोलो प्रभु जी. बिकॉज मेरे चांस की क्या वैल्यू है, मेरे में से एक ही आएगा. रुको एक सेकंड प्रभु जी. बिकॉज it was already said in the Akashvani that he had to die. That was his destiny.
The wife said, our dear husbands, you treated your persons ill who were faultless, and as a result you have been killed. This was inevitable because the person who torments an innocent person must be punished by the law of nature. Now the important point which I was looking out for. We know that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. He is a supreme master, supreme enjoyer of everything. Therefore, one who neglects his authority can never be happy and ultimately will have to meet death. Their understanding, Kamsa and his brothers should have understood that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. He was seeing Krishna. Earlier answer, just Vamshi gave the answer. He was seeing Krishna with the wheel in his hand. So what does this mean? He was seeing Krishna as Vishnu, the Sarupya form. So what does that mean? He knew Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. Therefore, one who rejects his authority, who neglects his authority, and he can never be happy. Is this point clear to all of you all? 4 people tried this answer. All 4 of you all get this point, very clear understanding that yes, what you said is correct. But iske alawa, another important understanding is he had not taken the authority of Krishna. Ill treatment kiya tha, I agree. You all said the same thing. Ill treatment kiya tha. But this point was missed out. 1 point goes to Makhanchur Challengers for this answer. And
should I cancel Rajesh Prabhuji's chance also? One.
Yes, that has to be cancelled because though Hardar Pran Prabhu was pleading him, please don't waste your chance. He said, no, I'm going to go for a jihadi war.
My chapter 1 question is going to come. I know that.
So Pooja Mataji, Rajesh Prabhuji, Satrupa Mataji, and Hemant Prabhuji. 4
yes, 4 people have used one chance for this half answer, and they all repeated the same thing in a different manner. That's all.
Yeah. Okay. Telling again and again that I don't want that answer.
Yes, instead of telling that I don't know at this point, I understood. Please don't repeat. You're repeating the same point. No, nevertheless, it happens. Anyway. That's intention. That's also Krishna, part of Krishna Leela.
Yeah, 5 points. Still, they have a very good chance.
Yes, very much. Let's take the next question for Makhanchur Challengers, and the next question is, it's just the 4th question now. On Chanur's invitation for wrestling, what did Krishna reply after understanding the purpose behind his statement? What did Krishna want to indicate by his words?
I will answer.
Yes.
When Prabhu, just repeat the question because I need the name of this wrestler.
Chanura and Mushtik.
Yeah, okay. Chanura invited Krishna to have a wrestling match with him. On this, Krishna said that Chanura explained to Krishna that it's better you wrestle with.
Okay. What did Krishna
say? The one who obeys.
Agreed. Now I want the answer what Krishna said.
Krishna understood the intentions of Chanura behind him and explained him that you should fight wrestlers with the capabilities matching yours. I used to wrestle as a child with my coward friends and Balram.
Okay.
I am just a coward. I am not of your caliber. And Krishna told him that this will go against the religious principles also.
Very good.
So it's better you find someone of your match. To which Kanura said that you have killed the elephant.
No. I don't want what Krishna said. That's all I have asked. I didn't ask what Chanura said. I have asked what Krishna said. You have said all till now. All points are right. What did Krishna want to indicate by his words?
That if we have a fight together, that we will not be following the religious principles.
Okay, good. Full 2 points goes to Makanchur challenges. Krishna said, "We are simple boys. We sometimes play in the forest of Vrindavana with."
Sorry, Prabhuji.
Yeah, no problem. You are missing in for some time. We are simple boys. We sometimes play in the forest of Vrindavana with our friends who are of our own age. We think that to combat persons of equal age and strength is good for us, but to great wrestlers like you would be not good for the audience. It would contradict the religious principles. Yes, all these points were mentioned very nicely. Krishna thus indicated that the celebrated strong wrestlers should not challenge Krishna and Balram to fight. Full 2 points goes to Makanchur challengers. Well played, well answered. Yes, Krishna was just trying to say, I am a simple cowherd boy and I was just doing wrestling in the Vrindavan forest. That too with my aged boys. I'm not fighting with wrestlers like you, so I'm not that great wrestler. So you should just fight. We should not fight with us. In fact, great warriors like you should not invite players like us for a match. That's what he was trying to indicate. So next question to Makanchur challengers. So 2 more questions. Hope you make the best in the next 2 questions. And the 5th question is, Uddhava said, the supreme benediction attained by the gopis in spite of being born in the family of cowherd men was never attained even by the goddess of fortune herself, and certainly not by the damsels of heaven. Why? Uddhava said, the supreme benediction attained by the gopis in spite of being born in the families of cowherd men was never attained even by goddess of fortune herself, and certainly not by the damsels of heaven. Why? Your time starts now. Yes.
Prabhuji, this is my answer, but I am gone blank now.
Okay, no problem. Nothing to go blank about it. What was the benediction the gopis received? More superior than the Lakshmi ji, the goddess of fortune.
Even the goddess, the supreme benediction that the gopis received, that they were personally embraced by Krishna arm to arm, and they were kissed by Krishna face to face. They were embraced by Krishna. They danced with Krishna. Even this thing, even the goddess of fortune was not available to.
So I think I have to twist the question every time and make it in a way in which you can answer.
Prabhuji, I need the help, Prabhuji. I need the help, Prabhuji.
Okay, full 2 points goes to Makanchur challengers, but I don't know, you, Simran and all, you all taking attention too much. And that's why you all become blank. Knowing the answer, you all are becoming blank. Even in Dwarkadish, the same thing was happening. Simran knew the answer, but she was trying to say, I know too many things, but I know nothing. It was like that. Poor girl, she was fantastic. Very nice girl, very well answered. And similarly, Mataji, even you knew the answer, but I had to put the question, simple question, and this is the words what Uddhava said, as it is in Krishna book. I've just copied, just retyped it.
I know, Prabhuji.
I have not add one word also.
Yeah, I know that.
Also
it was an easy question, but I was really full of anxiety. That was the problem.
No, the gopis are so fortunate that during the Ras Leela, Krishna personally embraced them in his arms and kissed them face to face. Certainly, it is not possible for any woman in the 3 worlds to achieve this except for the gopis. Not even this cherished moment is enjoyed even by Lakshmi ji. Lakshmi ji is always at the feet of Vishnu, pressing his feet. Neither the damsels of heaven, they can achieve it. What a great fortune these gopis have got. And what price they have paid. Are we ready to pay such a price? Ready to leave our society? Are we ready to leave our family? Are we ready to leave our friends? Not leave, sacrifice. Prabhuji, we are ready to leave the class, but we are not ready to leave all this. This is the general answer I get. What to forget about friends, society, and everything. We are not ready to read onion and garlic and tea and coffee also. That is the problem. So one has to understand, we can get this benediction, not just the gopis. Even you are also entitled for this, provided you are ready to do this sacrifice.
Okay.
Okay, well answered. So
Prabhuji, now
last.
they have got very good chance. Now they cannot lose. So now they have to win.
Acha, they are equal now. Tie.
9 points. Puja Mataji have used both the chances and Rajesh Prabhuji has used both the chances.
Oh, now Puja Mataji has to
Himangi
sing now.
Mataji has not yet opened her score. No answers today. So she has been very good.
Let's hope the last question is from their chapter.
No,
and the best joke is, Puja Mataji and the other people who have completed their chances, they must be singing now. Ab tumhare hawale watan sathiyon. So let's go for the last question for today evening, and very important. Which are the two types of energies used for establishing the various type of relation with God? Explain with example. Which are the two types of energies used for establishing various types of relation with God? Explain with example. Your time starts now. Yes. Which are the two types of energies? Shaktiyan. Energies को शक्तियां कहते हैं ना.
प्रभु जी, आध्यात्मिक शक्ति और भौतिक शक्ति.
Translate it in English for me, please.
Spiritual and materialistic
energies. Which are the two types of energies?
Prabhuji, Chit potency and Bhu Shakti.
Everyone try, chances घर नहीं ले जाना है.
So, Prabhuji, superior.
Yes. Two energies to establish relation with God.
Prabhuji, superior.
What superior?
Energy.
प्रभु जी, पराशक्ति अपराशक्ति.
Are you all aware of the understanding of the word you are using, parashakti and aparashakti? इसका मतलब आपको पता है? पराशक्ति से आप भगवान के साथ रिलेशन में करा सकते हो, अपराशक्ति से भगवान के साथ रिलेशन बना सकते हो.
नहीं, ये मेरा क्वेश्चन ही नहीं था, इसलिए I just tried.
ठीक है, but somewhere this doesn't need to. No one has to read this chapter to give this answer. Such a simple question. Okay, try. You still got 15 seconds left.
sacrifice.
Two energies.
Prabhuji, can I try at least? No points, but
माताजी वेट, पहले वो लोगों को कर लेने दो, फिर आप और मैं दोनों ट्राई करते हैं.
ठीक है.
नहीं तो हम लोग का वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड पक्का है, 4 ties in a row, कोई नहीं तोड़ेगा.
I think so. I know the answer, Prabhuji.
That's why you should have not wasted your chance earlier. Okay, now that the time is over, you can try.
पहले मैं आप ज्यादा वो प्रभु जी, योग माया और महा माया है क्या?
Yes.
बस ठीक.
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, the gross elements and the subtle elements, the 5 gross elements and the 3
माताजी मैंने बोला ना अभी योग माया और महा माया.
I'm really shocked.
Prabhuji, what is the answer?
Two energies.
Internal
Only
and
two energies.
Internal and external energy.
Yes, that is yoga maya.
Internal and external.
तो वही तो मैंने बोला प्रभु जी.
What? I didn't say you're wrong. No, did I say you're wrong? I'm explaining. Other than you, there are so many contestants. I have to explain to them also, no? Yogamaya and Mahamaya, two energies, the most common. Parashakti, Aparashakti, Chit potency, this, that. My God. You all are answering means you have not read this. If that you are saying Chit potency in entire Krishna book, in which chapter this Chit potency has come? Which book, which chapter Parashakti and Aparashakti has come? हरदर्पण प्रभु किस चैप्टर में आपको अपराशक्ति और अपराशक्ति आया था? शैलजा माता जी, टेल मी व्हिच चैप्टर शोड यू चित पोटेंसी?
जी वो जो कुब्जा है ना, कुब्जा का जो
आर वी इन कुब्जा चैप्टर राइट नाउ? इट इज कवरिंग कुब्जा चैप्टर राइट नाउ. As in the material world, the relationship existing between father, mother and children can be established among different living entities. कोई घर पे कुत्ता पाले, कोई घर पे बिल्ली पाले, कोई घर पे मछली पाले, and different relations by the influence of illusionary energy or Maya, Mahamaya. So, by the influence of Yoga Maya, the devotees can establish a relation in which the Supreme Personality of Godhead is his child. This is only possible by Yoga Maya, and with Mahamaya we can create wrong relations. Like, okay, this is one may argue, sir, she's my real wife, he's my real child, he's my real father. Agreed, but only as a soul you have to see in this birth you have got these relatives. Next birth, new set of relatives. So this is the first understanding, that under illusionary energy, not only with your parents, with your mother, children, and other living entities such as dog, friends, neighbor, everything, we are all, this relation is just because of illusionary energy. And actual energy, Yogamaya is under the influence of this Yogamaya, a devotee establish a relationship between the Supreme Personality of Godhead as his child, or might be as his lover, might be as a friend, Sakha Bhav, in any power. And an example given here is when Lord Krishna saw Vasudeva and Devaki standing in reverent attitude, he immediately expanded his influence of Yogamaya so that they could treat Balram and him as his children. What happened when Vasudeva and Devaki saw Krishna after he reached after he killed Kamsa? He were seeing with awe and reverence. Wow, you're great, you're Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna did not like it. So what did he do? He immediately put the Yogamaya, covered his reality. But at the same time, a relation was maintained. Immediately, Vasudeva and Devaki started thinking, oh, my son has killed Kamsa. How great my son is. This is the understanding one should get it. Okay, anyhow, 0 duck for this question goes to Maganchu challengers. So yes, Koral Prabhu, what is the situation now?
Tied the match, Prabhuji.
It's a tie again.
Yes, they have worked very hard for it.
Yes, they have worked very hard, but I was really shocked. Even if they had got 1 point by just saying the two energies,
that's what
they could have won the match.
Sarcastic manner, they have worked very hard to tie the match.
And I'm just giving me answers from I don't know which Acharya's book they have studied.
Prabhuji, this is explained in some small book of Prabhupada ji, that a dog, it's the owner of the dog is like if it barks on unknown people, that is Mahamaya, and Yogamaya, the person he knows.
Yes. So this is a common thing which we all speak of. हम माया में है, पर आज वही माया ने आप लोगों को इतने माया में ले लिया कि आप लोग आंसर नहीं दे पाए. Anyhow, we all played very well. This time I was very happy with the way in which you all started, the way in which you all answered, and I'm very happy. And nevertheless, yes, Samrat Prabhu, where are you?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu. So it's a tie again.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes. So the tragedy is you could not win also.
Yeah, we didn't play
well. You could
well.
have performed much better, and Dwarka is supposed to be the एक्चुअली अगर आपको ऊपर बेटिंग होता तो सबसे ज्यादा पैसा आपकी टीम पे लगता था, जैसे आईपीएल में लग रहा है. बट ट्रेजिकली यू परफॉर्म्ड वेरी हॉरिबली. आई थिंक दिस इज आल्सो पार्ट ऑफ कृष्ण लीला, and they could not answer the simple question of Mahamaya and Yogamaya. Otherwise they would have definitely gone ahead and you would have lost the match today. But nevertheless, this is a eye opener for both the teams, so let that be there, that the semifinals, let's not take things very lightly. You have to put all your efforts and play well. For those who have joined our plate, just last understanding, yes, we will be having the semifinals next week. The date will be announced on Thursday, and all the details will be put up on our Facebook and on our website, as well as on Instagram. All the details will be put, which you can follow up, and with some new changes in the rules and in the addition the games, which making the semifinals more spicy. So look forward for all you spectators to join us up in the semifinals next week. But we have one last match to go on Thursday, day after tomorrow, that is on 17th of June. So all of you all welcome for that. With this note, I would like to say bye bye to all of you all. Hare Krishna.